Yo ninjas, so today we have a great manga challenge. It's a challenge I never done before, but before that, first let's go to the special guest.
Today we have a sponsor and giveaway. More about that at the end of this video.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's up,
How's it going, man? Eesh. So, are you up for the task? The task of today.
I got something.
You got something, I can see it.
There's something in this box.
Something in the box, but it's round.
Well, it's
our
round,
boxes.
This one is a special box.
Oh shit.
Open it up.
That looks awesome, man.
This will help you on the quest.
I've been waiting for this for a few days. You're really fast, man. So lately I've been joining D&D for the first time. For that needed a character. So before the first session I made a first sketch. Zakaru, my first ever real D&D character that I've created to check out what the character's gonna look like. Can you explain a bit about it and who you are?
My name is Lance. I'm a game developer at YellowCakeGames. And yeah, we make games for game consoles. Today I have something for Ninjakees here, which is part of a D&D campaign, which is to say Dungeons and Dragons. And what that is, Dungeons and Dragons is a party game where you use a couple of dice and you roll with those dice to decide how the story will go. And we have a couple of people in the group and together we're gonna make a fantastic story. And to play that story we need a couple of figures that represent you. So that's what we're gonna do today, to unveil one of the figures.
So this is created by Lance here. Let's check it out. So this is literally right now. Let's open it. Here we go. Oh shit, it's not there yet. I thought it was right there, but here's some bubble plastic. Nice and safe. Oh, how does this go? Oh, it is in it. It is in it. Oh shit. Okay. Wait. Okay, so I got it out, and here is, oh shit, the real Zakaru. The real Zakaru. Okay, I have to be careful with it to not break the, hey, this looks super dope, man. Oh shit. He printed it and painted it.
My man.
Hey man, also color red. Look at this awesome. Oh shit. All these details, man. How it's probably really hard to fix it, man. Look at that, man. Yeah, the thing is with these figures, it's small, but if you look at it, it looks detailed, man. Okay, I should be careful with it because I think it's a bit fragile. You should probably not drop it. Probably not good idea. Hey, but this is epic, man. Can you tell a bit about the process? Or?
So first I received from you the STL file. I've got a 3D printer at home, a Anycubic Photon, what is it, Mono at 4K or something, lots of detail. And then I print it out and it comes out green. I only have green liquid. Yeah, and then I received from you the references that you colored in Hero Forge, and I used that reference to kind of match colors. I don't have all the colors in the world, but I do my best to kind of match it the best I can. And then I basically, I start from the basics, so I don't immediately go for the details. So for example, in this one, I just start with all the red parts of your suit, of the Zakaru suit, which is the arms, the legs, the hood, for example.
Did you make first layer red?
Yeah.
So the lowest layer.
Yes, yeah, I block it out so the reds are most prominent. Basically, I started with the body, and at the last part I did the rock. So for the body I did the reds, and then I basically did the silver stuff in the legs, the armors. At some point I did a little bit more detail on the swords, not too much, you know, the metal and the red blood or parts of it. And then I just made myself go through each detail further and further. Then I did the skeleton, that, and and then I just kind of went deeper into it.
And what was the hardest part?
Yeah, so I think the hardest part, I would say, was two things. One is you have like a little belt on your character at the very bottom, which is a little difficult to do because there's so many like little details on it. So I couldn't make it all out. You have a little red, you have a little rope. So with my, little pencil, a little brush, it's hard. So that was a little difficult. And the little skulls at the very bottom of the base. But yeah, so the hardest part was the bones and maybe the belt. But other than that, no, it's The mimic was a lot of fun. The mimic was a lot of fun to paint.
I just had to put it in.
Yeah, it's a little pet mimic. It's great. All in all, it took about, I think, 4 or 5 hours. At the bottom, let's not forget. You got
I forgot about it.
At the bottom is Ninjakees. It's hard to see on the camera right now, but it does say Ninjakees, branded, copyright. It's all his. No, but that's great.
I forgot about it.
Yeah, there you go. So I painted it all black. You see these little dots here?
Yeah.
That's because of the support that it used to have.
Oh, yeah, it was green, yeah?
Yeah, it was green. But I kept these supporting because you don't really see them usually. If you're playing, it's like this.
Oh, yeah, that's
so it doesn't matter. But yeah, it says Ninjakees. I painted it black so you can read it better. Otherwise, it would have been green. I didn't want that. Yeah. So now it's complete.
Awesome.
Now it's all done. Yeah. And
thank you, man. Arigato.
All good.
Alright ninja, so the challenge for today is to draw this character, Zakaru, the second version edition that I also modeled 3D or customized technically. So we're gonna make this into a Manga Works drawing. So let's go. So here's the start of making Zakaru version 2. So at the beginning I was a bit struggling how to finish this piece. I was checking some poses online at the Hero Forge where you can literally make your D&D figure in a 3D model. So I checked out some other poses, how I wanted to pose this character, and finally picked one, made a screenshot of that pose and made it into a sketch. But that sketch that I was making from that reference from the 3D model, it just didn't feel right enough. It just felt a bit meh. I wanted to make it like epic manga drawing, an epic manga works. So I tried some different poses and sketches how to figure out this drawing, but in the end still went with first pose, I believe. So I just picked the first pose and started building onto that pose to get to that final result, to make it nice, neat and licked. Yes. At the beginning I thought it would be worse than I thought it would, but at the end I was like, yeah, I guess it is not too bad. Also there was a moment where I thought like about just tracing the 3D model and then just make it manga style. You can literally have a technique, you just print out or do it digital. You just print out or digital, make a screenshot of that model and then trace it over with manga lines and then make it here and there more manga-esque, that manga style, or at least the way I draw manga, whatever you want to call it. But in the end didn't choose to trace it and just use the model as reference without tracing it. I did try to trace it, but it just didn't felt right, or it looked a bit weird, so didn't do it in the end. Also with the 3D model, I don't think it's completely like the way I draw. It's a bit stylized, I believe, like the 3D model on Hero Forge. So in the end, if you want to make it your manga style, you still have to tweak it a little bit, but it can still help for some reference or poses. Next to that, I also think that my 3D model that I made for the Zakaru version 2 is a bit too complicated, at least for me, with all the armor and every little detail in it. So that's why I maybe made the character a bit too complex, so I probably should just make it, well, less complex. Also, my first sketch that I made of Zakaru, the first version, felt a bit more organic, or just felt a bit more how I draw. I don't know, there's something about it that with this new version, as if it's not really how I would draw, but maybe it is, I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think. Yeah, for the techniques, it's mostly the same. Sketching, inking, and coloring. I also did some sketched inking, So instead of sketching with a pencil, I sketch with ink, like with the Energel pen. I really like that Energel pen to just scribble, doodle, sketch, it just feels nice. When I did the pencil sketch, and then I go over with the black Energel pen, sketching with that pen, with ink technically. And then the lines come a bit more out there, and also it's handy to have a trace table, the light table, to trace the newer lines so that you can clean out the dirty lines and get to the final ones. I didn't use the G pen this time for time efficiency, and also with the G pen it dries and smudges and everything. I had to be fast with this piece, so I used the fine liners instead, even though I do prefer the G-pen lines. The reason I colored this piece traditionally is because I really enjoy coloring traditional, and also because I'm faster this way. If I would do it digital, it takes way longer, for me at least. And it's also not how I want it to be executed, because I cannot draw the coloring that I do traditional also digital, like the same effect, and it would look a bit different. So I have not mastered my traditional coloring to digital coloring. In the end, the digital one is gonna look different, since it's not like with Copic markers. There are probably ways to do it, but I have not done it yet. So when the final inking was done, I had to make a few adjustments here and there with the white stuff to actually go to the final inking traditionally, to go to the right lines. And afterwards I scanned this drawing in to make it digitally and then correct some stuff digital. This was because I still saw some errors and the original ink was not usable to color over with the markers, since I used the white stuff to correct some happy accidents.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
And those markers don't stick well on the white stuff. Because if you draw and you correct with the white stuff your ink, and you also want to color on it on the paper with markers, the markers don't stick on the white stuff. So then it's already fucked if you can only do traditional. So you have to do it right away. Unless there are other ways to do it, but let me know in the comments what other white stuff you use to correct your ink lines and then go over it directly on the paper with the markers, with the same effect. So far, I have not figured it out. Maybe you have figured it out, let me know in the comments. But that's why when I correct my traditional inking, I scan it in and then print it out on Copic marker paper or other paper. Unless there's some mistakes or happy accidents, and then first have to adjust that and then print it on Copic marker paper or other paper. In this case, I didn't print it out on Copic marker paper because recently I finished a drawing for my Ninja-chan on paper that was a bit thicker, which worked quite well, and also the paper is thicker than the marker paper. So I decided for this one to do it as well, just print the drawing out on 160 grams paper. It's a little bit glossy or has something to it, but it's technically just 160 grams paper. For some reason I just wanted to have this drawing, the final coloring drawing, on a bit thicker paper than the Copic marker paper, and I think it works quite well. Because the marker paper is really thin, you know, like rice paper, you just poke a hole in it. Maybe not that thin, but it's quite thin. So yeah, man, that's one of those reasons. I guess there was not a real reason, it's just what felt right at the moment. I might make some more Zakaru stuff later. Also the reason why I drew this, well, because of the D&D, and I wanted to have my character as a final drawing, or at least a version of it, like a bit more executed with the sketching, inking, and then coloring, of sort of actual final version instead of the first version that I did, and also to have it more looking like the 3D printed model, so that sort of matches, you know, because the first sketch I couldn't figure out in the Hero Forge literally how it looks like, or maybe I could a bit more, but I kinda like this model more, I guess, or it's an experiment, you know, and I wanted to have it more like a ninja, you know, So for now, this is the final version of Zakaru. What do you think about it? I might make some more later for other stuff, and I have a plan for this drawing as well. I might show it later on a live stream or something. What I'm gonna do with this drawing, at least plan. If it works out, that's the big question, but there is a plan. Nice. So yeah, ninjas, what do you think of this first Zakaru versus the newer one? Which one do you like better, or does the first one look more organic, or the newer one? Let me know in the comments. Alright, it's time for that special moment.
So this video is sponsored by Lance from YellowCakeGames, and we're also doing a giveaway, a special giveaway with an awesome game for the Nintendo Switch. So what's this Switch game all about, Lance, that I can win?
Hey guys, so what can you win? You can win a game called Dashing Dodgems. It's a local multiplayer game where you and 3 others duke it out with bumper cars on a couple of maps. Last one standing wins among other gameplay modes. That's what you can win. So how can they win this?
So they can win by subscribing on Ninjakees, the YouTube channel, and also ring the bell. Don't forget to like it, and also they have to comment something special. What do they have to comment, Lance?
What do they have to comment? Well, you guys tell us, if you could be a D&D character in a D&D world, who would you be and what would you do in this world? Give us your most creative answers down below in the comment section, and we'll pick the funniest and most creative ones out. When are we doing this?
At the end of August, probably in a live stream. we'll announce the winners. So you have about a month or so
Yeah.
to let your creative comment down in the comments below. You can do as much as you can, I guess.
Plenty of time.
And yeah, let us know. And we're gonna pick them together, right?
That's
yes.
right.
And if you don't have a Nintendo Switch, you can always give it to someone that you know that has one, that you...
Give it away to
Like-
somebody else. Make someone else happy with it.
That's also an option. Let us know in the comments. Thank
Be
you.
creative and see you out there, ninjas.
Yes.
Ninjakees.